So hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the detail and the history of the Nobel Prizes. Now, why we are going to discuss? Because in the month of October, all the Nobel Prizes are announced. So in today's class, we will discuss all the important things associated with Oscar awards, like the static GK portion, as well as the winners in the past, prominent winners like Indian winners, etc. And in the next week, we will discuss all the winners of the year 2025. So let's begin with today's class, all about Nobel Prize history, significance, and Indian winners. So let us begin with the first question. So the first question is in front of you. If you know the answer, please answer me. Nobel Prize is given in the memory of dash chemist, engineer, and industrialist Alfred Nobel. So everyone knows that Nobel Prize is given in the memory of Alfred Nobel, Mr. Alfred Nobel. He was a very famous scientist. The question here is not about Alfred, who was the scientist, but the question is he belonged to which country? Norwegian means those who are living from people from Norway are called as Norwegian. People from Sweden are called as Swedish. Okay, so you have to answer it. And if you know the answer, I'll be very happy to know. So the right answer to this question is option B, Swedish. He was actually from Sweden. He was born in Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. So B is the right answer to this question. So you can see here in the map also, let me show. So this is India. This is Europe. This is Norway and this is Sweden. So here in Sweden, you will find Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. That is what you should be knowing about. Now, let's move on to the next question. The next question says, Alfred Nobel is famous for the discovery of what? This is also a very famous question being asked in different exams. Pen, dynamite, nuclear energy, photoelectric effect. You have to answer the question, and I hope you can answer it very easily. The answer is dynamite, and B is the right answer to this question. Now, photoelectric effect is also famous. It is related with the life of Albert Einstein. In fact, Albert Einstein got Nobel Prize in physics for this. That is what you should be knowing. He got Nobel Prize in physics for photoelectric effect and not for theory of relativity. Because I have seen many times these questions are asked. Albert Einstein got the Nobel Prize for what? And one of the options says theory of relativity. And most of the people mark that, but that is not correct. Albert Einstein got Nobel Prize for photoelectric effect. So these are small things, but of course these are asked in the exam. So B is the right answer to this question. Now let's move on to the next one. The next question is Nobel Prize is given in how many fields? 5, 6, 7, 4. So I believe that you should be answering it. You should be knowing all those fields in which Nobel Prize is actually given. If you know the answer, please write in the live chat. So the right answer is option B, 6 fields actually. So it includes Nobel Peace Prize, very famous. So Nobel Prize in Physics, Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Nobel Prize in Literature. Then we have Nobel Prize in Economics and Nobel Prize in Medicine / Physiology. It is not psychology, it is physiology. This has to be very crystal clear. Okay, that is what you should be knowing. So B is the right answer to this question. Now, the next is the first Nobel Prize was awarded in the year 1895, 1905, 1909, 1901, 1909. If you know the answer, please answer me. I'll be very happy to know. See, what happened was in 1895, before his death, Alfred Nobel gave his last will. Last will matlab means before the death, person says something. Okay, so he had said in his last will that I actually want an award to be established in my name because I have earned a lot of wealth, and those wealth should be used for giving Nobel Prizes for those who have done fantastic in the field of humanity and etc. and all, and for the cause of humanity, etc. And next year in 10th December 1896, he died. Okay. And 5 years later, the first award was given in the year 1901. This is what you should be knowing. One more thing you should be knowing is actually the awards. The Nobel Prize awards are actually announced in the month of October. Okay. But the award is given on 10th December. Because 10th December is the death anniversary of Alfred Nobel. So announced in the first and second week of October. These are announced. So it is being announced these days. We will discuss it, all the important winners of Nobel Prize 2025. And actually it is awarded. The award ceremony happens on 10th December every year. Okay. That is what you should be knowing. So the right answer is C is the right answer to this question. The next question is, which of the following Nobel Prize is the most latest one to be added in the Nobel Prize list? Now, why I'm saying the most latest one? Because in 1901, there were only 5 Nobel Awards. And I have told you in the beginning of the class that currently we are having 6 Nobel Awards. So one was actually got added later on. Which one is that? You have to tell me. So the right answer is option B, Nobel Prize in Economics. So basically, this prize was established in 1968. And the first award was actually given in 1969. So first Nobel Prize in Economics was given in 1969. So it was added later on. So B is the right answer to this question. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Which of the following Nobel Prize is also known as Severidge's Riksbank Prize? Nobel Peace Prize, Nobel Prize in Economics, Nobel Prize in Literature, Nobel Prize in Medicine. What is the right answer to this question? Basically, Severidge's Riksbank is the name of Central Bank of Sweden. So like we have RBI as central bank, similarly, Sweden's central bank is called as Severidge's Riksbank. And of course, when we are talking about central bank, we must be talking about economics. So B is the right answer to this question. Actually, Severidge's Riksbank 300th birthday was celebrated in 1968. Okay. And in that year, Nobel Prize in Economics was established, I have told you. And next year in 1969, the first Nobel Prize in Economics was given. So these are basic facts that you should be knowing about. Okay, so you can read it from the page of Wikipedia. 1895, last will of Swedish chemist, he had said that in my name the award should be established. Initially there were 5 separate awards: Nobel Prize in Physics, Chemistry, Physiology or Medicine, Literature, Peace. The 6th prize is also called as Severidge's Riksbank Prize or Economic Sciences, first presented in 1969. The other 5 were presented first in 1901. So these are basic things that you should be knowing about. Yes, Alfred Bernard Nobel, Swedish ex-chemist, inventor, engineer, businessman. He was also instrumental in actually inventing dynamite as well as nitroglycerin and other things. All are actually related with bomb or dynamite making things. So he wanted Nobel Prize to be given for this purpose, confer the greatest benefit to humankind. So those who have done this, people should be given Nobel Prize for that. That is what he had said in his last will. Okay. Yes, he was born in Stockholm. He died on 10th December 1896. So that's why 10th December is the date on which the award ceremony of Nobel Prize is given, or the award ceremony happens. Although the awards are announced in October, but the ceremony happens in 10th December. Yes, first award was given on 10th December 1901. In 5 fields. Later on, 1969, first economics award was given. Let's move on to the next question. The next question says, Nobel Peace Prize is given by which country? So basically, there are total 6 awards, but all are not given by one country. So it is given by actually some other countries also. So Nobel Peace Prize is given by Norway, please remember it, and the other 5 is given by Sweden. Okay, Peace Prize. So let me write it clearly. Nobel Peace Prize given by Norway. The other 5. So the other 5 are Nobel Prize in Physics, Chemistry, Literature, Economic Science or Economics you can say, and the last one is Medicine. These 5 are given by, or Physiology, Sweden. Okay, so let's see and we'll discuss it. Yes, Sweden, all prizes except Peace Prize, and Norway gives Peace Prize. This has to be very crystal clear because these are the questions that are directly asked in the exams, and that's why I'm discussing it. Okay, so you have to be very crystal clear on this. So here is India, this is Europe, this is Norway, and this is Sweden. Okay, now I give you 2 homework. So go and find out, and after the class is over, write it in the comments. Name of Scandinavian countries and name of Nordic countries. This you have to write. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institute is a body at Karolinska Institute that awards which prize? Economics, Physiology, Literature, Chemistry. Which Nobel Prize is given by Karolinska Institute? If you know the answer, please answer me. So basically, the right answer is option B, Nobel Prize in Physiology or / Medicine. B is the right answer to this question. Okay. So you can see it here. Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences gives 3 awards. Physics, Chemistry, and Economics is also considered as science. So this is actually 3 awards. Okay. Nobel Assembly at Karolinska Institute. It gives award in Physiology or Medicine. So this is 1 award. Swedish Academy for Literature. This is 1 award. All these 3 plus 1 plus 4. So all these 5 awards are actually given from Sweden. Okay. The last one is Norwegian Nobel Committee from Norway, which is a peace award. So 5 plus 1, 5 awards are given by Sweden, 1 is given by Norway. So these are the basic things you should be knowing about. At least you should remember the countries that 5 awards are given by Sweden and 1 that is Nobel Peace Prize is given by Norway. If you do not remember the name of the academy or institute, that's fine. Just remember the countries which give the awards, because these are asked in the exam readily. Yes. So we're talking about Nobel Prize in Economics, which was added later on. Nobel Prize in Economics was added later on. That is what you should know. Because in 1968, they celebrated 300th birthday of Sveriges Riksbank, the central bank of Sweden. So they came up with. So it means this was established in 1668, right? That's why 1968 is 300th birthday. And the first Nobel Prize in Economics was given in the next year, that is 1969. Okay. Let's move on to the famous winners of Nobel Prize. This is also very important because we have seen questions from here as well. So the past winners, etc. So let's begin with the first question. Dash is an economist, entrepreneur. You have to answer X and Y. He has been serving as the 5th chief advisor of interim government of Y from 8th August 2024. He was awarded Nobel Peace Prize in 2016 for Grameen Bank. That is the idea of microfinancing. Which person is being talked about? You have to answer what is X and what is Y. It's not very difficult. You can answer it. The right answer is X is Mr. Muhammad Yunus. And he had got Nobel Peace Prize in 2006 for Grameen Bank. Microfinancing means giving loans at a very small level, giving loans to poor or small levels, farmers, small level people. Okay. Okay, so he's currently the chief advisor. I hope you are aware since last year, 8th August, because 8th August, before that, few days before, like I think on 5th August, Sheikh Hasina was the prime minister of Bangladesh. She had to resign. That is what you should be knowing about. Okay. You can read it in detail. So this can be asked. So he has been in the news for the past 1 year. So of course they can ask questions from here. The next is who were the first winners of Nobel Peace Prize 1901. So Nobel Prize actually in 1901 5 awards were established. The most famous is Nobel Peace Prize. So who are the winners? So the first winners of Nobel Peace Prize, please remember their names. And this is important because they were the first winner of Nobel Peace Prize. Jane, Henry Dunant, and Frederick Passy. Okay, that is what you should know. And what was the reason for that? So Jane Henry Dunant got for his humanitarian efforts to help wounded soldiers and create international understanding. Second, Frederick Passy for his lifelong work for international peace, conference, diplomacy, and arbitration. That is what you should be knowing about. The next is X is a Burmese politician, diplomat, activist who served as a state councillor. Please read the question and then answer me. 2016 to 21, she had served as foreign minister as well as state councillor. She was the general secretary of National League for Democracy is the name of her political party. Burma is actually the old name of Myanmar. Okay. Okay. She got Nobel Prize in which year? So you have to tell me the year in which she got Nobel Prize and which lady is being talked about. The right answer is Aung San Suu Kyi. Okay. So I'm sure you must be aware, and she got Nobel Peace Prize in the year 1991. Okay. So I'm sure you must be aware that she is currently in jail. Outstanding example of the power of the powerless. For this, she had got Nobel Peace Prize. So this is Myanmar, Burma. And since 1st February 2021, on 1st February 2021, we had seen military coup. And since then, there is a military government in Myanmar. Okay. Aung San Suu Kyi. In 1988, actually, there is a very famous uprising, 8888 uprising in Myanmar. So 88 means 8/8/1988. So 8th August 1988. That is what you should be knowing about. Aung San Suu Kyi has been sentenced to 33 years in jail for a clutch of charges. And now her sentence was reduced to 27 years. So currently she is in jail for 27 years. That is what you should be knowing. The next is who was the first Indian to win? Very important. First Indian to win Nobel Prize. These are asked in the exam. C.V. Raman, Rabindranath Tagore, Har Gobind Khurana, none of the above. What is the right answer to this question? The right answer is Rabindranath Tagore in 1913. C.V. Raman actually, so there were 3 persons who were given first Bharat Ratna. This also we need to discuss. One is C.V. Raman, other is C. Raja Gopalachari. Then we have Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, the first Vice President of India. Okay. Okay, so that is what you should be knowing about. 1913, Rabindranath Tagore. So generally we say that he was given for the Gitanjali, but this is what the this is what the Nobel Prize website says. This is the reason, like, and it's a quite long description. Profound, sensitive, fresh, and beautiful verse by which, with consummate skill, he has made his poet thought express his own English words, a part of the literature of the West. Yes, 1913. Anna, you can read it. The reason which I have explained. Let's move on. Name the Indian woman who was awarded Nobel Prize. Indian woman. So first, the answer actually is Mother Teresa. She was not originally an Indian. She was born in Skopje, which was, I think, at that time of Ottoman Empire, Yugoslavia, etc. Later on became part of Currently, it is actually part of North Macedonia today. So she was born in Skopje, but she acquired Indian citizenship. So technically, now you can say that she was an Indian citizen. A is the right answer. Anna. आप देख सकते हो तो 1913 Rabindranath Tagore got the Nobel Prize in Literature. Then 1930 C.V. Raman. He got Nobel Prize for his Raman effect, which is related with scattering of light. This is also a previous year question of CUET and many other exams. Okay, so he actually on 28th February 1928 founded Raman effect. That is why 28th February is called as National Science Day. Okay. And 2 years later, he got Nobel Prize for this, Nobel Prize in Physics for that Raman effect. 1979, Mother Teresa got Nobel Peace Prize. She is also an Indian citizen because she acquired the Indian citizenship. Okay. You can read about this also. We have done Raman Magsaysay Award also. Please watch it because this year one of the winner is an organization, Educate Girls. It's an NGO from India who has got Raman Magsaysay Award this year. So you can watch that also. And she actually, Mother Teresa also got Raman Magsaysay Award as well. Let's move on to the next one. The next is we are talking about is Mr. Amartya Sen. He was given Nobel Prize in Economics for what purpose? What was his achievement and in which year? If you know the answer, please answer me. I'll be very happy to know. So in welfare economics, he got in the year 1998. 1998 for welfare economics. That is what you should be knowing. So these are asked in the exam, Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences. Kailash Satyarthi was given Nobel Peace Prize in the year dash along with dash for dash. So you have to fill all the three. So he was given in the year 2014 along with Malala Yousafzai from Pakistan. For what? For actually Bachpan Bachao Andolan. So he's having Bachpan Bachao Andolan. So he's having we can say a non-government an NGO working for child rights or fight against child labor, etc. Okay, so that is what you should be knowing. 2014, Kailash Satyarthi for their struggle against the suppression of children and young people and the right of all children to education. Okay, so bottom line for the children rights कह सकते हो and against child labor. Okay, so Kailash Satyarthi and Malala Yousafzai got this. The next is name the Indian origin person who got Nobel Prize in Economics in the year 2019 for his experimental approach to elevating global poverty. Indian origin person means he was actually born in India, but he later on settled in America, got US citizenship. So here we are talking about is Mr. Abhijit Banerjee. And this year we have seen his book also called as Chonk. This can also be asked, name of the book. So 2019, 3 people got Nobel Prize in Economics, Michael Kramer, Abhijit Banerjee, and Esther Duflo. These two are actually husband-wife. Esther Duflo, I think, is from Spain, if I'm not wrong. Okay, that is what you should be knowing about. The next is name the Indian origin person who got Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1968 for research on genetic code. Again, Indian origin person. So his name is Mr. Harbin Khorana. Okay, you can read about him. 1968 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. Harbin Khorana, born in India, but later on became US citizen. Research on genetic code, protein synthesis. Similarly, 1983 Subramaniam Chandrasekhar. He was born in India, got US citizenship, Nobel Prize in Physics for research on evolution of stars. And he gave what we call it as Chandrasekhar limit, which is actually 1.4 into mass of sun. So actually, with the help of Chandrasekhar limit, we can find out whether the star will have supernova, pulsar, white star, dwarf star, etc. Like this. So these are the research. I'm not going in that detail, but I'll give you a rough idea about this. Okay, that is what you should be knowing. And then 2009, Venkat Raman Ramakrishnan, Nobel Prize in Chemistry for research on ribosome. He was also an Indian born in Chidambaram, which is in Tamil Nadu, and he got US UK citizenship. In 2019, we have done Abhijit Banerjee, born in India, got US citizenship, Nobel Prize in Economics for research on alleviating global poverty. Now, the next one. Please answer it. He was an Indian journalist, novelist, short story. He was born in British India, got Nobel Prize in Literature in 1901 for 07. His famous book includes Jungle Book. Kim, I'm sure you must be aware of Jungle Book. So the right answer is Rudyard Kipling. Very famous personality. So here is Ronald Ross had got, and for his work on malaria in Nobel Prize in Physiology Medicine. He was also born in Almora, Uttarakhand, 1902. Then 1907, Rudyard Kipling, Nobel Prize in Literature. Country of residence, United Kingdom. That is what you should be knowing. Then 1989, Dalai Lama for his consistent resistance to the use of for the consistent resistance to the use of violence, in his people struggle. So he's a Tibetan Buddhist leader, and in 1989 he got Nobel Prize. So he's currently in India, but he was actually from Tibet. 2001, V.S. Naipaul. He was also an Indian origin person, but his parents got settled in Trinidad and Tobago, which is one of the islands of West Indies. Later on, he got UK citizenship. Nobel Prize in Literature. So V.S. Naipaul is also from Indian origin. Okay, so you can read about it, but I think that is more than enough. So this is all about today's class. Please subscribe to the channel, press the like button, share this video. Thank you, everyone.